Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Robert Montez. I'm with Link Financial Advisory, where we're here to help you win with money. Today we're going to be covering a subject that I think is so important but gets missed all the time, and that is what you can do to prepare for a first meeting with a financial advisor. So let's go into 7 steps that hopefully help you get the most out of your first meeting. Number 1, prepare ahead. Before your appointment, take the time to gather relevant data such as tax returns, investment statements, insurance policies, various debt statements, anything that you have regarding your financial picture. At some point in time, your advisor is most likely going to ask for these things anyways, so just having them up front can help you have a better idea of what's going on with your life, and also you can spend a little bit of time beforehand reviewing your own situation so that you're more informed, you're ready to answer questions as they come up. Step number 2, take time to clarify your goals. I would say before your meeting, sit down and really think, what do I want to get from this? Am I just here to talk about retirement? Am I here to focus on, building up something for buying a house or funding my kids' education? What are you really trying to get from this meeting, and how can this person best help you? I think as you walk into a meeting with those clear, concise goals, you're going to get better advice because your advisor is going to be able to provide solutions based on what's most important to you. The third step, I would say, is understand the advisor's approach. As you're meeting with the advisor, take time to really hear out what they look for as far as their investment philosophy, their risk tolerance assessment. What are the fee structures? Are they fee only? Are they commission based? Are they trading fees? Understand how they're coming up with the solutions that they're recommending to you. I think as you really take the time to talk to an advisor, just make sure you feel good about it. Make sure that as they're going through their planning process that you feel like they're hitting everything that you needed them to hit, and they're not just focusing on what they want to focus on, but it's really based on what your goals are. From there, I'd say step 4, share your financial story. What I mean by that is be willing to share the good, the bad, the ugly. Don't be intimidated, guys. We've all made mistakes. We've all been in a bad spot financially. Everyone's had that happen. And maybe if you're working your way out of that, it could be a little embarrassing. I get that. But be honest. Maybe you've done great. Maybe you have tons of money saved and you don't want to come off as, bragging or whatever. Don't worry about that. Just be honest. It's garbage in, garbage out. The better information you give to your advisor, the better information they're going to be able to come back to you. The goal of your advisor, I would say, is never to be something where they're like, hey, this is what you do with your money. That's not how it should work. What your advisor should do is listen, find out what's important to you, and then provide recommendations and solutions based on what you're trying to accomplish. Number 5, I almost jumped the gun on this one earlier, but that's ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. What's their experience? That's a great question to start with. How did they get into this industry? How do they handle market volatility? What services do they offer beyond just investing? Really go through. And if you don't know where to start, what I would say, you can easily use something like Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI. There's a free version. Just go and ask, hey, what are 20 questions I should ask my financial advisor? Or what are 50 questions? It'll give you whatever you ask for. And then you can find the top 5, 10, 15 that you make sure you really want to get done, really want to get answered. Start with those and then see where they lead. And if something else comes up, just ask those questions. Don't be intimidated by that. Number 6, discuss risk tolerance. We alluded to this before, but risk tolerance matters. You need to talk about how you feel about with investing. I think that every advisor should take time to really educate their clients on how investing works so they understand why they're making the recommendations that they make and that their solutions align with what the client's risk strategy is. So if you don't have a lot of experience with your with investing, that's all right. Just bring that up to your advisor. If you have a ton of experience, great, bring that up with your advisor. They should be able to clearly explain their risk tolerance and how they're going to select what they do. But that's very important that you are, your goals are in sync there, as well as with what they're trying to explain from a risk tolerance standpoint. Lastly, take notes. Take notes. We always have notepads here when we're meeting with people or things that they can write on. If you don't have something, pull your phone out, jot down things, jot down key points. I'm telling you guys, if you're an active listener, like when I'm meeting with people, I'm taking notes because there are things that you think you're picking up on, but that you could circle back to afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, that was important. Or another thing you'll notice is people will say the same thing 2 or 3 or 4 times throughout a meeting. And if you're not taking notes, it's really easy to miss those things. Whereas if you're just taking notes, you'd be like, oh, this is a big point. I would highly, highly recommend that. Now, a bonus tip, which kind of falls into this, is take your time. There's no rush, guys. There shouldn't be a rush when you're making decisions that are going to impact your life savings. So If you have an advisor who you feel is kind of pushing you to make decisions before you're ready to, I would say pump the brakes. That could be a major red flag. In our office, for example, we never ask people to make decisions on a first meeting. So even after they've done their data collect, after we've built their plan, when we've sat down, we've reviewed their plan, we literally send them home with all of our answers. And some people might say like, oh, you're giving everything away. What if they go somewhere else? Well, in the 15 plus years I've done this, I think I've had 2 people do that. Most people aren't, crappy people. But we never ask them to make decisions up front because there's a lot that's covered. Everything from, like I said, investments, insurance, estate planning, debt elimination, funding kids' education. There's so much that goes into building a comprehensive plan. So you shouldn't be rushed to make these decisions. As we conclude, I would just remind you guys, having a financial advisor is very important. There's been studies. There was a study that was called Help and Defined Contribution Plans, where they found that the average individual who works with an advisor accumulates about 79% more wealth from receiving help compared to those who do not. There's been numerous studies that show that advisors bring about an average of 3 percentage points of return back to their clients above and beyond what clients would get by themselves. And that's not because they're wizards and they have all the secrets financially. A lot of that comes down to helping people make smart choices and avoid situations that could really crush them and be catastrophic. So finding the right advisor is super helpful, can make a very big difference. If you're looking for one, feel free to reach out to us. We have an incredible process. We have over 600 households that we work with just on our team alone, and we've got this down to a science. So I hope you found this valuable. Thank you so much for taking time to watch. Wish you guys all the best. Take care.